in the gas.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Well, hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobila. We are in the great state of North Carolina, set to kick off the round here at Quail Hollow. Frank, it is one of the most well-respected courses on tour.
And for good reason, Rich. Great layout. Also, we said hello to Rory McIlroy and Ricky Fowler. They recorded their first ever PGA Tour wins at this very golf course.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Now the approach shot here at the par 4 first.
There's a big mound in the middle of this green, Rich, and the ball has a tendency to kick either side of that, so just be aware.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Players still fighting the strong winds out there today.
Well, that's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Even par early on. Frank, this is a really fun hole, a pretty short par 3 downhill.
Yeah, half a club, you can allow for that, so it won't play its full yardage. You can really see that right part of the green. That's the most inviting one, but when they stick the flag on the left, you really have to be precise.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. This is a strong par 4, 452 yards, the third hole. It's a good challenge, Frank.
It is. Big sweeping dogleg left. Actually in a straight line, it's 315, 320 yards to run out. So if you hit the ball further than that, it's going to have to draw. Otherwise, you'll be hitting in the rough on the other side. Still a lengthy shot into there on a green that actually has 3 different levels.
No fairway here. This one in that rough. Just in the first cut of rough. Not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. This is a good-looking shot. That is classy.
You got a chance of going in.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. In the hole, and that'll bring the score to 1 under. Frank, this is a muscular par 4 here at just under 490 yards, the 4th at Quail Hollow. A difficult proposition.
It is, but fortunately that tee shot plays a little downhill. But one of the difficulties with the tee shot is the fairway kicks from right to left. So it needs a good one to keep it on the fairway, and another green that has 3 different levels.
So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Sometimes you get breaks, and he got one right there.
Yeah, I guess the bunker was a little smaller than I thought it was. It looked doomed for that.
Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
Stays at 1 under with that par. Frank, in today's modern game where players are hitting it so far, I always feel like one of the more exciting holes is a reachable par 5, and here we are at the 5th, 570 yards.
Yeah, this is reachable providing you hit a good drive. Otherwise, it becomes very awkward on the layup. You're sort of often threading the ball out of trees and just trying to find some sort of third shot. So to your point, big advantage with a good tee shot here. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. And it makes the green in regulation. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
More than a bonus on the scorecard there.
Now set to tee off at the 6th. It is a long par 3, 250 yards.
We could take a little bit off for the downhill, but whichever way you look at it, it's still going to be a beefy par 3. Protected on the left by that front bunker, and if you sort of scoot one long, there's another bunker over there as well.
That is tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there. Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one's safely on.
So a tester from 4 feet. That's good work. That's a good par right there. Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5 7th.
And a 6 and a 7 and an 8 or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard record, the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on do you go for this par 5 and 2. It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
Getting set for another approach, our featured golfer really looks dialed in at this point.
Yeah, right now this is a great feeling to have as a golfer. Your swing's good, the timing, it's almost like it's just completely natural. You don't have to think. The swing is exactly where you want it to be. So really you're just looking at the flag in front of you.
Good scoring opportunity. Third shot here at the par 5. Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking he might get it close. And just a great shot.
Out of the short par 4-8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. You're going to lay it up, you're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Well, Frank, what do you think of the 9th hole here at Quail Hollow?
Oh, I think it's a beauty, Rich. One of those long, nice drawing tee shots. 500 yards is a par 4. You have to hit a good drive down there. The fairway doesn't camber that much. Hole does dogleg to the left. Big advantage for a big tee shot here. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Set up in the fairway, 200 yards from here.
Should be safely on deck.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Dropping like dominoes out here. 6 under par. Another birdie. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, back at Quail Hollow, getting set to kick off the backside. And the 10th is a good par 5, Frank.
It certainly is. Hole bends a little to the left. There's the bunkering down that left side that you've got to keep slightly right of. Second shot plays ever so slightly downhill to a rather narrow green. And if anything, you want to favour that left side.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Frank, how did he do there?
I would say more than the average. Get it inside 20 feet from that distance.
Frank, that looked good to me. Tough start to the backside, Frank.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well, too. You start losing confidence with the putter early on.
Third birdie of the round. Now to the par 4 11. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's an interesting hole, Rich, and I'm curious to see how aggressive players will play here today. The easy way, obviously, is just hit it down the right side and set up a nice second shot with a short iron. Or the most fun way is to take the big stick out and try and bite off as much of that corner as you choose, but be prepared to pay the price should it not come off.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Getting set now over the putt. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Par 4 12th here at Quail Hollow, 456 yards. Frank, break it down for us.
Well, there's no fairway bunkers either side, so you feel like there's nothing to work the ball off, and consequently it's very easy to sneak it in the rough on the left or the right, and then that makes that second shot so much more difficult going up the hill. This is one hole that you have to pick a line on. You really have to know your line off the tee. There's a nice big tree down there in the distance. That's the one you want to work it off.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
And that is not very good at all. That could cost him.
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20. You just wish you took the shorter club now.
Pretty good shot right there. Good round going, -7. Now to the par 3, 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face. And a good chance for birdie. 10-foot putt left. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
He has this attempt for par, continuing to putt with confidence. Well, Frank, as we arrive at the par 4 14th, just 345 yards, our players no doubt are looking for a little advice from a guy who's been there. You've done it at the highest level. What's the right play here?
Rich, after all these years, I think it's like a modified tee shot. And what I'm going to say with that is like a strong 3-wood, something that pitches around 270 and kicks 30 or 40 yards, finishes up about 20 yards short of the green. I think that's the best ploy. You won't be able to get at all the flags, but I think you'll play the hole under par for the week.
When's the right time to pull out the big driver and have a go at this green?
I don't think there is, but maybe you at home should try.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie, now have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
That's how you maintain momentum. Make those putts for par. Now at the par 5, 15th hole, 577 yards. Frank, you remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, that final round, 62?
I certainly do, Rich. That was an amazing run on the second 9. And holes like this, too. He just stood up here with a driver and just obliterated it down there with a nice draw, took those bunkers out of play and just set up a mid-iron.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there.
Headed for the bunker, I think.
Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants a do-over there.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Moves to -8. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department. Hazard?
Maybe wet. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Frank, you always talk about it. Don't compound the mistakes. Well, here we are, another shot from the rough.
And this one no easier than the one he's just hit.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players. The ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
7 under on the day. Frank, this is all you want in a par 3, especially late in the round. You have to carry the water. You have to deal with the pressure. At 221 yards, this requires a player's very best.
On the process of elimination, don't go long, don't go left, don't go short, and right is marginal. It doesn't leave you with much.
So the shot has landed, I'm not sure if it's on the mulch or in the mulch. Either way, it's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't have mulch of a shot you left.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
He'll need to be strong with this. Oh, get down. Look out.
It's over. The green.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that. Really, I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Oh, what an incredible shot. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you hit the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it'll be.
Frank, what's the player need to watch out for here at 18?
That false front doesn't finish till at least 8 or 9 yards on, Rich, and then you've got two different tiers. Plus, it's a narrow green. Club selection here is just so important.
This is a good-looking shot. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, you could see he thought he had that.
It looked in the whole way until the end.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
And with that, a very strong performance. It's a round of 66. Frank, just some great golf here today.
Yeah, that's a round to remember. Not often you